The elevator doors opened onto the 57th floor with a soft ding, but I felt like I had walked into a courtroom. Everyone's eyes followed me as I stepped out, clutching the stack of reports that had been the culmination of my last 5 years. "Ah, Harper," said the voice before I even saw her. There she was, Clara Devlin, smiling with that polished arrogance that made everyone else shrink in her presence. Designer heels, silk blouse, hair perfectly styled, the kind of woman who didn't just command attention, she owned it. "I was about to present our Q4 breakthrough to the board," I said, keeping my voice steady, though my chest felt tight. Clara tilted her head. "You mean my breakthrough?" she said softly, then louder, so everyone could hear. "The one our team has been developing this quarter." My stomach sank. The room's attention snapped to her, the board members leaning forward with polite interest, nodding and murmuring approval. My work, the months of late nights, the prototypes I had personally tested, the data painstakingly compiled, was being paraded as hers. "You're mistaken," I said firmly, trying to assert control. Clara laughed lightly, that irritating, practiced laugh. "Am I? Because I have every email, every lab note, every prototype plan signed off. And look at this," she gestured to her slides. "Every concept here is already in development. It's all very market-ready." I felt invisible. My own team avoided eye contact, unsure whether to defend me or stay out of Clara's crossfire. I could almost feel the board's eyes assessing me, weighing me against her confidence, her charisma, her connections. "You should see it, Harper," Clara said, leaning against the edge of the boardroom table, her voice low. "It's very impressive. For someone who's inexperienced." The word hit like a hammer. I had spent my entire career clawing my way up from nothing. No mentorship, no family connections, no shortcuts. And here she was, dismissing it all with a single condescending remark. By the end of her presentation, the room had erupted in polite applause. The board chair stood, shaking Clara's hand. "This is exactly the kind of innovation we need," he said. I packed my laptop mechanically, my fingers trembling. On the table, I left my access card. My exit would be unnoticed, my presence forgotten. But they underestimated me. Outside, in the quiet of the corridor, I allowed myself to breathe. I had planned for this. Clara's arrogance was her weakness. She didn't understand one critical detail. She could copy the surface, mimic the process, but she didn't understand it. And I did. I pulled out my phone and sent a single message to Elliot, my old colleague and one of the few people who truly understood the work. "It's time." By noon, the office was in chaos. The board wanted a live demonstration, and Clara was at the helm, trying to replicate the system. Every calculation she'd stolen, every step she thought she could mimic, failed spectacularly. The equipment refused to behave. Sensors triggered alarms, systems overloaded, and what had been a confident, polished presentation devolved into frantic explanations and finger-pointing. The investors arrived, expecting a flawless reveal, and found a meltdown instead. I entered quietly, a calm presence amid the storm, and set up my workstation. In under 10 minutes, I had the system running perfectly, live data streaming, prototypes functioning. The silence that followed was intoxicating. Every eye in the room turned to me, not Clara. "This is the system," I said softly. "The one that actually works. Developed entirely in-house, with the methodology and nuances that cannot simply be copied from slides." The board exchanged glances. The chair's face went pale. Clara's mouth opened, then closed, words failing her. I packed up my laptop again, this time with a small smile. My career hadn't ended. It had only just begun, and now everyone knew whose work was real, whose understanding was irreplaceable. As I walked out, leaving the boardroom behind, I felt the satisfaction of knowing the rules had changed. From now on, the game would be mine.